Did you know that about 70% of your immune system is located right in your gut? That's crazy. Almost everything that's involving your immunity, how you feel and how you're sick, has to go through the GI tract to get you feeling better. In today's video, I'm going to uncover how your gut health can exactly affect your immune system. And at the very end of the video, I'll give you my recommendations on what you can do to get your immune system and gut happy so they can sing together, they can be together and be this wonderful, happy family to get you feeling your best. Guys, let's talk about food. Howdy, I'm Dr. Islam, aka your poop guru and gut microbiome expert. I'm a board certified gastroenterologist trained at the Mayo Clinic. I've treated thousands of patients with all sorts of gut issues. Come see us at Gastro for all your GI needs. If you don't live here locally, subscribe to my newsletter. We can get more information on what we can do to help out with your gut health. So number one, let's talk about gut health and autoimmunity. Research shows that 80% of autoimmune diseases can be related to what's going on inside your gut. This includes things like Hashimoto's, thyroid disease, Sjogren's, lupus, and sometimes other autoimmune diseases including Crohn's disease and inflammatory bowel disease. Now, not every single autoimmune disease will be linked to what's going on in your gut, and this is current research which are trying to figure out exactly what's going to tease together what is the true chicken and what is the true egg. But we've seen a lot of relations between what you eat, how your gut metabolizes what you eat, and how it can manifest into diseases going on inside your body. This may be the reason why we're seeing such a rise of autoimmune diseases in the world right now because of our terrible diet that we're having. The more processed foods, the more sugary foods, and sometimes even grains for some individuals can predispose your body to go into a reaction in which it actually develops an autoimmune disease. And there actually are a significant number of patients who've had their symptoms better controlled. I wouldn't say cured yet, but symptoms better controlled when they're able to change their diet. You are what you eat, and if you eat a lot of crappy food, you're going to manifest that as crappy diseases, including autoimmune diseases. So when your gut isn't working properly, your immune system will get confused and start to attack itself, leading to a lot of these autoimmune diseases that we are developing and seeing. Number two is also the relationship between leaky gut, gut dysbiosis, and autoimmune disease as well. That gut imbalance, also called gut dysbiosis or leaky gut, affects nearly 50% of individuals with autoimmune disease. That's crazy. It's such a high number. So almost half of the individuals who have some sort of autoimmune diseases have gut dysbiosis or leaky gut going on. So when the bad bacteria outnumber the good bacteria, your immune system is on high alert. It thinks something's going on, which leads to a cascade of reactions leading to worsening autoimmune diseases inside your body. That in turn leads to inflammation and more autoimmune flare-ups that can manifest a lot of symptoms for a lot of my patients. Number three is stress. This is crazy, but stress can completely change how your gut microbiome is, which in turn can make a lot of autoimmune diseases worse and more difficult to treat. Chronic stress can weaken the gut in 43% of individuals who have this as a problem in their life. So if you're always dealing with anxiety, stress, you can't sleep properly, you're always high strung, you don't know what's going on with the world, you're really worried about things, this can directly affect how your gut works, which can also directly affect how more likely it's going to be for you to attack yourself, leading to autoimmune diseases, infections, and problems such as the case. Stress does not mentally just make you feel bad, it can also physically change how your gut microbiome is and how it can lead to more autoimmune problems. It makes it more likely for your gut to go out of whack, to be dysbiotic, leading to inflammation, and also weakening your immune system. So have you ever noticed, I've noticed for myself, whenever I'm stressed, I don't have enough sleep, whenever I have things going on in my mind I can't get rid of, I'm just always, on edge, I get sicker and sicker and sicker more often. And this is the direct connection between the brain, the gut microbiome, and your immune system. So the more stress you're having, the more likely it's going to be for you to have inflammation occurring inside your body, which in turn will manifest into you being sicker and having more autoimmune diseases. This is also why in my world, stress can also affect autoimmune diseases in the gut. Have you noticed if you have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, your symptoms get worse? Absolutely, that's the case because that stress is a direct manifestation that can lead to all sorts of problems down the road. And lastly, sugar, the secret culprit that's in pretty much everything that will destroy you from the inside out. Now, I'm not going to go on a soapbox here and say all sugar is bad, but I will tell you there are so many foods that we're eating right now that are full of sugar. And we know that added sugar can destroy your gut microbiome, which in turn can destroy your immunity and make it more likely for you to develop autoimmune diseases and reactions as well. That sugar that you're ingesting can spike up your insulin, which can also spike up your inflammation and make it more likely for you to have worsening relapses and conditions when it comes to autoimmune disease. In fact, there are studies suggesting that having that excess sugar can lower your immunity by almost 40%. And that's just with one ingredient. Imagine all the other bad ingredients you add on top of that. Sugar essentially feeds the bad bacteria. It gives them superpowers, it gets them all hyped up. It's like steroids for the bad bacteria. And this leads to an imbalance in your gut microbiome, which once again, you know the story, will also lead to an imbalance of what's going on with your immune system. Now that we talked about the relationship between your immunity and your gut microbiome, what can you do today to change and reverse that course? Because I can tell you, absolutely you can reverse the course to get your gut back on track, which in turn can help you with your immunity and your autoimmune diseases. Here are my recommendations. Number one, try to cut out or minimize any excess sugar. Now, sugar that's in fruit and in natural foods is perfectly fine. Don't worry about that. But it's that added sugar that you see, what's called high fructose corn syrup, sugar that you add on to things, sugar that's already in foods that you should not be eating. This is the type of sugar I want you to avoid and to eliminate. Now you have to realize this sugar is in basically everything, and that's scary. It's in bread, it's in mayonnaise, it's in ketchup. So I want you to actually look at the ingredients, look for terms like high fructose corn syrup, sucrose, maltose. Look for these sugars as added sugar and try to eliminate them or find a substitute for that. Because if you can do this, it'll decrease the cravings for your gut for these things. It'll make you feel better, but also change how our immunity is from the inside out. Number two, incorporate fiber-rich foods. So foods like leafy greens, oats, and chia seeds. These foods alone can improve your gut health by almost 30%. You're giving your body a 30% higher chance of defeating any autoimmune diseases and get you on the right track. This adds fuel for the good bacteria, which will allow your immune system to work better, be more active to help decrease flares when it comes to autoimmune diseases. Number three, try to find ways to manage stress. Now, this is hard because we all deal with stress, but it's how we manifest and deal with stress that's very important to you and to me. Everything always has two handles, a good handle and a bad handle, and how we interpret stress ourselves is exactly how we're going to manifest this in our body. The act itself is not stressful, but it's how we interpret these acts that will allow us to see if we can deal with stress. There are things that work, find what works for you. For me personally, journaling, prayer, meditation, exercise, these things actually help out with my stress level because you can't get rid of stress. That's how life is. But it's how we manifest and deal with that stress is going to be very, very important. Next is to optimize sleep. It's actually very underestimated, the importance of sleep. Sleep is literally the foundation for everything when it comes to your health overall. Because if you don't have good sleep, you're not going to eat good, you're going to be more stressed, you're going to crave foods that are not good for you. And so without that foundation, you're not going to have the best life and the best immunity that you can. And we've seen studies after studies suggesting that people who don't have good quality sleep actually have worsening immune function and have flares of their autoimmune diseases. And I have a lot of videos on what you can do to optimize sleep. Do what you can for what works for you in particular to help you sleep better. And then lastly, I don't want to poo-poo modern medicine because modern medicine actually can help out when it comes to autoimmune diseases. And so use medical therapy to get you feeling better. Some people need that extra boost to get their autoimmune diseases back on track, to get their immunity back on track. Don't just think that changing your diet alone, at least initially, is going to make the difference. Now, later on down the road, we may be able to tailor down your medical therapy, and that would be great. But don't just assume that just doing these things are going to be the best thing for you because the horse may already have left the barn, and that's okay. Sometimes we need that medical therapy to get that horse back in that barn and keep it in that barn with the other options we can do. So if you're struggling with autoimmune diseases or even gut issues, come see us up at Gastro. We can find out what's going on, get down to the root cause, and get you feeling better. And if you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe. And also don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter where you can get great tips and tricks on what you can do to improve your autoimmune diseases to get you feeling better. And thank you for watching. Don't forget, let's talk about poop. Thanks, everyone.